We all love our dogs, and they're loyal, funny, and honestly, they make life better. But here's the thing, most of us have grown up believing a bunch of so called facts about dogs that are actually completely wrong. You've probably heard things like dogs only see in black and white, or a wagging tail always means they're happy. They sound true, right? Well, get ready because today we're busting some of the biggest dog myths out there, and some of these will seriously surprise you. So, grab your pup, get comfy, and let's dive into the 7 dog facts you've believed that are totally wrong and find out what's really going on with our 4-legged best friends. 1. Dogs only see in black and white. Let's start with one of the most common dog myths ever, the idea that dogs can only see in black and white. It's something a lot of us grew up hearing, but it's totally false. Dogs actually can see color, just not in the same way we do. Humans have 3 types of color receptors in our eyes, which let us see the full rainbow of colors. Dogs, on the other hand, have only 2. That means they see a more limited color range, mostly blues and yellows. So, what does the world look like through your dog's eyes? Imagine a slightly faded photo filter. Greens and reds look more muted, but blues pop out clearly. Your red ball might look brownish to them, but your blue frisbee? That's a big yes. The black and white myth started decades ago, before scientists fully understood how animal vision works. But thanks to modern research, we now know dogs see the world in color, just a little differently than we do. 2. A wagging tail always means a happy dog. You see a dog wagging its tail and think, "Aw, they're happy to see me." And yes, sometimes that's true, but not always. A wagging tail doesn't always mean joy. In fact, it can mean a lot of different things depending on how the tail is moving. If a dog's tail is wagging loosely and their body looks relaxed, that's a friendly, happy wag. But if the tail is stiff, high, and moving fast, that could be a warning sign. Dogs use their tails like emotional signals. A slow wag can mean uncertainty. A low wag can mean submission. And sometimes, even aggressive or fearful dogs wag their tails before they react. Not because they're happy, but because they're tense. So the next time you see a tail wag, don't just assume it's all good vibes. Look at the rest of their body language. The ears, the eyes, the posture. Dogs talk with their whole bodies, not just their tails. 3, 1 human year equals 7 dog years. Ah yes, the classic dog year formula. 1 human year equals 7 dog years. It's a neat idea, but it's not accurate. The truth is dogs age much faster in their early years and then slow down as they get older. A 1-year-old dog is not a 7-year-old child in maturity. They're more like a 15-year-old teenager. By the time a dog turns 2, they're roughly in their mid-20s in human terms. After that, aging depends on their breed and size. Smaller dogs tend to live longer, while larger breeds age faster. Scientists now use a more complex formula that looks at DNA changes over time, and it turns out dogs don't follow a simple 1 to 7 rule at all. So the next time someone tells you your 5-year-old dog is 35 in dog years, just smile and know that your pup might actually be younger or older than that simple math suggests. 4. Dogs eat grass because they're sick. You've probably seen your dog nibbling on grass and thought, uh-oh, they must be feeling sick. But here's the truth. Eating grass isn't always a sign of illness. Dogs eat grass for lots of reasons, sometimes because they're bored, sometimes because they just like the texture or taste, and yes, sometimes to help their digestion. Some dogs might throw up afterward, but that's not the main reason they do it. Studies have shown that most dogs who eat grass aren't actually sick at all. In fact, wild canines like wolves and foxes also eat grass now and then. It's a normal behavior. So, Unless your dog is eating a lot of grass and constantly getting sick afterward, there's usually nothing to worry about. Just make sure the grass they're chewing isn't sprayed with pesticides or chemicals. 5. Dogs have dry noses when they're sick. This one's been floating around forever. If your dog's nose is dry, they must be sick. But that's not necessarily true. A dog's nose can be wet, dry, cold, or warm for tons of different reasons, and most of them have nothing to do with health. Sometimes their nose is dry because they just woke up, or because they've been lying in the sun. Other times it's wet because they've been licking it or drinking water. A warm, dry nose doesn't automatically mean illness. You have to look for other signs like loss of appetite, lethargy, vomiting, or coughing. That's what really tells you if something's wrong. So if your dog's nose feels dry, don't panic right away. It's just one tiny clue in a much bigger picture. 6. Dogs feel guilty when they've done something bad. You come home, find your favorite shoes chewed up, and your dog is sitting there with those big sad eyes. You think, aha, they know they're guilty. But here's the surprising truth. Dogs don't actually feel guilt the way humans do. What you're seeing isn't guilt. It's a reaction to your body language. Dogs are experts at reading us. They see your angry face, your tense movements, and they respond with submissive behavior. Head down, ears back, avoiding eye contact. It looks like guilt, but it's actually them saying, "You seem upset. Please don't be mad at me." Studies have shown that even when dogs haven't done anything wrong, if they sense their owner is angry, they'll still make that guilty face. So no, your dog isn't secretly plotting to hide their mistakes. They're just reacting to your emotions. They don't feel guilt, they feel confusion and empathy, which honestly makes them even more innocent. 7. You can't teach an old dog new tricks. If you've ever heard someone say, "Oh, my dog's too old to learn," forget it. That's 100% wrong. Dogs of any age can learn new tricks, new habits, and even new ways of thinking. Sure, puppies learn fast because they're curious and energetic, but older dogs actually have some advantages. They're calmer, more focused, and they already understand human routines. You just need patience and the right motivation, usually a mix of treats, praise, and repetition. In fact, many rescue dogs who've spent years in shelters learn commands and social behaviors once they're in a loving home. Their brains are still active and capable of learning. It just takes a little time. So if your senior pup doesn't know sit yet, don't give up. Grab some treats and try again. You'll be amazed how quickly they catch on when training feels fun and rewarding. Bonus. Myth. Dogs age faster because they love harder. Okay, this one's not really scientific, but it's something people say all the time. That dogs live shorter lives because they love us too much. It's a sweet thought, isn't it? The truth is, dogs' lifespans are shaped by biology, not emotion. But there's something poetic about the idea that dogs live faster because they feel deeper. They pack so much love, loyalty, and happiness into a short time that it almost feels like they burn brighter while they're here. So while it's not technically true, it reminds us to treasure every moment with them because no matter how long they live, it's never long enough. Why these myths exist. So why do all these false facts stick around for so long? Part of it is tradition. We hear them from parents, friends, or old books, and we just repeat them. Another part is that dogs can't tell us otherwise. We interpret their behavior through a human lens, and sometimes we get it wrong. But as science continues to study dogs, their senses, emotions, and biology, we're learning that our furry friends are even more complex and intelligent than we thought. Busting these myths doesn't make dogs any less amazing. It just helps us understand them more deeply. When we know the truth, we can care for them better, train them smarter, and connect with them in more meaningful ways. Because at the end of the day, The more we understand dogs, the closer we become to them. And that's what really matters. So, let's recap. Dogs see color, but not the same way we do. Tail wags don't always mean happiness. The 1 dog year equals 7 human years rule is outdated. Grass eating isn't always sickness. Dry noses don't equal disease. Dogs don't actually feel guilt. And yes, you can teach an old dog new tricks. It's kind of amazing, right? All these little myths we grew up with. And yet, the truth makes dogs even more fascinating. They're emotional, smart, intuitive creatures that keep surprising us the more we learn about them. So, the next time someone repeats one of these dog facts, you can smile and say, actually, that's not true, and then impress them with what you've just learned today. If this video helped you see your dog in a new light, make sure to hit the like button. It really helps more dog lovers find this channel. Which of these myths surprised you the most? Was it the color vision one? Or maybe the guilt myth? Let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear your take. And don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications. Until then, give your pup some extra love today. Because even if some of these facts were wrong, one thing's always true. Dogs are the best friends we could ever have.